What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Welcome to another exciting edition of Meet the. I'm Troy Rawlings, and today we're meeting the five-time Grammy nominated songwriter, producer, A&R, music industry diva, Shanell.
Hey, everybody.
How are you? Shanell?
Y'all
How
can
are
hear?
you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm good.
I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
No doubt, no doubt. Now, here's the thing, y'all. Shanell is actually in the studio. I got her on I had to get her in between. It's average time on the West Coast, but they in Jersey. It's a little late, so she's chilling. She hasn't even had her do me juice yet, but we're gonna get that
Yes, I
later.
haven't had my do me punch yet. Mm-hmm.
All right, Chanel, we're gonna jump right in because we ain't got a lot of time. I want people to, if you don't know Chanel, for those who don't know you, little background. How long have you been writing songs, and when did you realize that was something? Um, I don't know. Did you realize it was a gift, or you just started doing it first? How long you been writing songs?
Um, I've been writing since I was 14.
Mm.
I started out as a rapper, poetry. Then I got really, really serious with it at 18. And I knew it was a gift.
Mm.
For me to still be doing it now, it definitely is a gift. Um, at age
Oh, you know
14
now.
now,
Yeah,
what?
you know now. I mean, it's evident now. But
Yes.
then, how did you know? What? Well, because you came up in Jersey. You're from Jersey originally. So was a lot of artists around you continuously on doing that time? Just we talking about what, the 80s?
Yes.
Yeah, so
I
it's nothing but artists
met a
and
lot of
rap
people.
music.
I met a lot of people that were very influential to what I wanted to do. And I was like, this God brought me here when I started meeting like songwriters and like Coco and her husband, Mike, Big Mike. And they were actually her husband was actually the first person that we went into the studio. Her husband and Big Worm, who does a lot of big Broadway plays.
It's Coco from SWV.
Huh?
Coco from SWV.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
Because some people are like, Coco, who Coco?
Yes, Coco from SWV. And we went in the studio with them. I don't think they were married then,
Right.
but we went in the studio with him and two other producers, and I was just like, yo, this is what I want to do. And then we got with Kimberly Thornton. She took
Mm.
us around to a lot of producers, and we would give them like 10 songs each. We were
Mm.
a machine. It was two of us. We were actually the first two girls to sign to a publishing deal. Um, the day we signed, it was us, Missy Elliott, Rock Wilder, and the guy, what is his name? Oh my God, he would kill me. Mike City. All of us got signed the same day. And
Now this was post. Was this after the whole Devontae thing with Missy was in that hub? Okay.
yes. Mm-hmm. We got our deal in 2002.
Okay.
But before that, we were out. I was just being in a group, singing, writing the songs that we were doing. And then when the group disbanded, me and Tanisha kept writing. And in less than 3 years, we got a $350,000 pub deal. Um, we had a bidding war to sign us, which was really good. It was Ethiopia and Warner Chappell, Ethiopia Universal, and it was really great. And then our first placement was S 3LW.
Real
Then
double.
3LW, we went into Destiny's Child, right?
So so for the younger folks that don't know what Ethiopian all these were labels.
Yeah.
They weren't just well, 2002 they were about to transition over to more just stamps than labels, I guess, because
Hmm.
come 2004 2005 the label thing was over. It was only like 4 or 5 main. Everything else was just a stamp. But you were
These
in,
were
you were
more
kind
like
of in
these were
the
more like
last part of the,
publishing. These were more like publishing subsidiaries.
okay,
The
okay.
publisher, the publishing part of Universal, the publishing part of Warner Brothers, Warner Chappell, you know, the publishing side. So, I mean, it
I
had its
want everybody
benefits,
to
but
listen to this because this is a part that people miss when they're just releasing songs on. Just talking to somebody how a friend of mine, her I'll be interviewing her cousin's a hot new artist, and but she was telling her it's time for monetization. Don't just keep putting stuff out.
mhm,
And I think it's very important for people to hear you. We got to get you. I know you speak everywhere. We have to get you to Los Angeles and do some East Coast. We got to do some stuff so the young people know and the younger artists know that there's still money in publishing. There's still money in writing. And if you're just putting your stuff out there, you're just putting your stuff out there. And it's
right.
like a part of the, and you're A&R. That's even the artist and repertoire piece. People don't know how powerful and necessary that is because I interviewed Jeffrey Osborne. I was doing a Skip Scarborough Award at one of my concerts. I interviewed Jeffrey Osborne, and he said something key, and this was 2002. This was 2002, and he was like, we had to bust our asses and work to get our stage performance tight. He said that's why you see LTD or Kool and the Gang or Gap Band. That's why we all had a great stage show because we were just trying to get the next gig. When the record deal came, that was cool, but we just did what we did on stage, so our album sounded like a live show. And when we went on stage, we killed. He said these kids are recording CDs in their bedroom, and,
Times
and
have changed,
now, so for
but
you,
you still hear the quality. I tell people all the time, it's not about quantity, it's about quality. And you
right?
can do a dope record and the quality not be great because you didn't take out the time to get it mixed and mastered. They just throw records out, and for the most part, that's our fault
And
for
you
allowing
and you,
those kind of records to be played and not mixed to the best quality that it should be. I see you.
I see you too. You said last piece I heard. You said it's your fault for not allowing those type of for allowing those type of records to go through and get played and not go through the process. Um, and I want to get into this is going to be one of those interviews that we have part on IGTV, but you're going to really have to go to YouTube and
Hmm.
watch the video. I'm just letting y'all know
Right.
because we got to get into this. I've been trying to get my hands on Shanell's for a while, get my hands in my. um, so you're an A&R now. You still do A&R.
Yes.
So for those that don't know, in your words, for those that don't know, what is an A&R?
An artist representative,
Right.
and where like I'm an A&R for the Lucas brand, my girl group Simplicity.
Okay.
They're from Brooklyn. I A&R their label from their label, and A&R basically finds music, develops the artist, make sure everything flows together: the look, the music, directions, videos, clothes, hair, the music, most importantly, which I do all of that with my eyes closed.
Right. Right. And that's important for people to know the necessity of having A&R. I was doing some stuff with some artists here when I got here, some artist development, and he was like, "I really want you to be the manager." I said, "No, you need an artist development person or A&R because the big sorry about that. Sorry about that. The
That's
big
okay.
is that the manager is not going to their job is really not to develop unless it's a person with the like you could be a great manager because of your pedigree. But some managers come and they may just be good business managers, but not know a lot about what the art, how to develop out an artist. You've been in the industry long enough to know hits.
Right.
We're gonna jump a little bit because I want to make sure we hit on this. 5-time Grammy nomination. Now this is a generic interview, so you can see it anytime. But we're coming up on Grammy season. If for the day and age, Grammys are rolling up on us, like literally.
Right.
5 times. How did that feel to know? Because at one point in time, I guess still now, it's just a little different now. But for the time and the artists that you got noms for, what does that validation feel like? How does that feel to know that you have music out there that's, not one time nominated, 5 times? Different artists, not just one. Some people get nominations. They happen to be working on Thriller. It was like, I had 8 Grammys. It'd be like, yeah, one album. Had different artists, different sounds, and all of the artists are different. So how did that feel? And let the people know what artists they were.
Geez. I mean, we got Grammy nominated for Jaheim with The Chosen One. Grammy nominated with Destiny Child off the Destiny Fulfilled album, If and Free. And then we got nominated for Patti LaBelle. You gotta excuse me, I forgot the name of that song. And then we got nominated with Charlie Wilson's first name Charlie, last name Wilson album for My Guarantee. And then gospel album Angel and Shanell from Trinity 5-7. We got 2 songs on here, Blessing Me and Remember. So yeah, I think it really didn't hit me until I heard it in the radio, on the radio in the car. And I was like, my girlfriend was like, oh my God, ain't that your song? And I was like, yeah, it is. I was like, oh my God, they're playing it. Oh my God. And then when I would come out of my house, girls that I know that lived around my house would ride past me playing the song. And I would laugh like they have no idea because I was so low key. Right. So nobody knew unless like somebody that knew me told them, but I was very like to myself. And even when MTV came and interviewed my boy group and wanted to do all this footage, and I was like, I don't want to be in it because I like being low key, you know what I mean? But it was exciting to hear my record on the radio, but I mean, I don't know. It was an accomplishment. It was great. One of those people
that would rather have the wealth than the fame?
Yes, because too, you know what happened too? What kind of killed it is because everybody was being so shisty, and wanting percentages and, not want to give the proper credit. Even when we got people deals with labels, we did not get what we deserved. We always got the bad end of the sticks because we were green, and you try to depend on people being good people, but sometimes that's just not the case. You got to have your paperwork, dot your I's and cross your T's, because people don't believe in that anymore, a handshake. So
that's one of the things that
kind of didn't help. That kind of didn't let me really celebrate. It was good, like, oh yeah, but I knew the bull crap I had to go through for the song.
How does that now, years later, you've been in the industry now for how many years you've been in the industry now? That deep silence, y'all, means she's been in the industry for
30-something years. Just say 30-something. 30-something.
30-something. You're still young, but so most of your quote unquote bad artist stories would come from learning how, because it takes time when you're in the industry like this, especially when you're doing something that you love that much. But I heard the old guy say, old guy told the young guy, and the young guy repeated me, "You are what you negotiate."
Mm-hmm.
And sadly, like you say, the people who learn the business side and realize how much money was in that side of the business, whether they ever put a, you hear stories about Berry Gordy and Motown and all the greatness of Motown, and no offense to Berry Gordy at all. But at the same time, at his own admission, he said before, well, we were just doing business the way business was being done. And you hear that a lot of times from the older guys. And these young artists, they get on that bus, they travel. That's why to this day, some of these older groups, they got a tour. They tour until they dead. And
My thing was, why would you treat people the way you were treated and knowing they treated you bad? Why would you do the same thing to them? That's like, and I don't care because people can say what they want to say. That's like Teddy Riley did a lot of the people he worked with. He didn't do them too good. And they end up leaving, like your Pharrells and all these other producers, because he wasn't fair and he wanted to take all the credit for everything. But then they turn around and want to do the same thing. Why turn around and do the same thing? You didn't like it when it was being done to you. That was my biggest qualm with people when they call themselves trying to get over and take credit from you and do all this stuff. It was done to you. The first thing they'll say, well, somebody did it to me. Okay, well, what that got to do with me?
it's a weird mentality.
It's doing the right thing, even when the wrong thing is happening.
Well, you don't think about it like that, but it's the abuse scenario. Someone who's been abused, 9 times out of 10 or 8 times out of 10 may become the abuser eventually. And you don't think about it in every scenario, but especially when people started scrapping around, like them getting wind that the industry is changing. You may not get the same thing, so everybody's trying to hoard what they have versus saying, okay, how can I develop and how can I flourish more? Speaking on that, and because you and I could talk for hours easily. We will. What's next for you? What are you doing now, and what's next? Well, you're always doing something. I was listening. I tuned into your live the other day, and you had some joints playing that were hot. Plus, but that's another thing. You also sing. You have a voice. You have some good tone, and
I do a little something every now and then. You know what I'm saying? A little something every now and then. But I like for people to bring my records to life.
Say it again.
I like for people to bring my records to life.
You answered the question I was saying. And so when you write a song, do you have certain people in mind sometimes when you hear certain music or certain songs?
Well, the one thing I learned is not to signature records to artists anymore. I remember we did like 8 records for Toni Braxton, and she felt like, oh, we was trying to do her too much, so she didn't take none of the records. So we had 8 Toni records just sitting there that never sold. So I've learned not to signature records on artists anymore. I've learned to do great records. Mm-hmm. And if it feels like something they would want to do, then go for it.
There was a young guy named, Gordon Chambers?
Yes, I love Gordon. It's my guy.
Gordon. I met Gordon years ago, and I was actually in New York, and was sat in on a session with him, and I had him come. He started getting out there and singing. And Gordon, nice. I like his whole flow and what he was doing with the music and stuff like that. But you look at his repertoire too. Same scenario like you. If he had signatured any of those songs and if you listen to his songs, anybody could sing them. That's why he got away with
sing along.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I love that you said that you don't I think people don't know this, but I think R. Kelly fell into that a lot because you hear him say a lot of times music that he had wrote for other people that other people did. He had wrote a lot of songs for different people at different times, and they just danced around it with everything. So what's next for you? What are you working on now? What should we look out for?
I am working on my movie. I want to do something different. Sorry, I'm playing in my hair, but I want to do something different.
You can do whatever you want.
Huh?
You can do whatever you want. Go on, have fun.
Okay, so I kind of got bored with the whole trying to write records for artists. And I just said, you know what? I want to do something different. So I started evolving my brain to write movies. So I have 3 different movie ideas that I'm currently working on. The first one is Pressure, which is in the making right now. The soundtrack is finished. We're working on a couple of more scenes, and I'm gonna have a release where everybody could come and check out the trailer of it and all that good stuff. And we're gonna probably put it out on Amazon Prime. But it's a love story about love gone wrong, where how you men, not all of you, but some of you, you have a good woman, she's there, she's helping you, she's doing all these wonderful things, but you still want to be out in the world amongst the thieves.
Had a
So
great time with this interview. No.
and you know what? If you don't, if it at the end of the day, if you don't open your brain to see that there's somebody there for you, you're gonna lose the best thing you ever had. And that's what that story is about. Love gone wrong and what to do to get it right, get it back.
Oh, and we get before we get out here, but when you said that, I just saw a couple posts today on social media about how, and I saw him talking about it piece by piece. Everybody knows, obviously now, the love that Puffy had for Kim Porter, and he's continuously saying now in front of people each time, I guess when his heart aches, he was like, look, y'all, if you have a good woman, stop what you're doing, recognize, and keep it, and keep her. Good woman and good, and ladies, there's some good guys out here too. If you got a good guy, don't be dipping on, because I've been doing my sex love relationship show and for 16 years, and I've heard all kinds of stories, mainly from women too. So, but if you have a good one, hold on to it. And Puffy has been saying it a lot.
Well, the biggest part is they never realize it until it's gone.
That was gone.
That women have already left you when they stop arguing with you. When they stop making excuses to themselves of why you're doing what you're doing to them.
ain't nothing worse than seeing a woman go, okay.
Yeah,
ain't nothing worse.
Okay.
Say, no, all right.
And they out. They've already left. They just waiting around for the incentives to kick in and all that good stuff. And it's sad, but it's true. Like, women are different. Men will always say women are not strong, they're weak. We are strong because we stick in there and deal with the bull crap. A man will never do it because they're not strong enough to deal with what a woman deals with.
Women will exhaust. A good woman will exhaust all possibilities. And if you want to really learn how to love, that's how you learn how to. I mean, it takes a while. That's why we put away childish things as a man when we learn how to love. But until a guy has exhausted all possibilities.
My thing is, there's always going to be someone out there better than what you have. Always. Always. You could be the greatest thing to me. I may meet somebody else and they're just great too. But it's where you want to be. You always gonna, there's like 100 women to one man. You can meet me and I'm great. We get married. You go out there, you meet like 7 other women that are amazing too. But it's, what do you want to deal with? What are you willing to sacrifice to deal with that one?
Shanell Red, Pressure. Y'all heard it here first. Hopefully first. I'm going to act like you heard it here first. You heard it here first. Pressure.
That's right. Pressure. Y'all better check me out and support me.
That should be a hard take
going on.
Because if you can write a love song, you can write a love story.
Yeah.
Because that's all a song is. A song is just a short story. So yes, I'm excited about this. Amazon. All right, look, because like I said, we could talk for an hour. Let people know how to get in touch with you and how they can connect with you.
Okay, on Instagram, I'm Shanell Red, ShanellRed. And on Facebook, I'm Shanell Red. Everything is Shanell Red. Google me, Shanell Red. Wikipedia, Shanell Red. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
And Shanell she is Red. The red girl with the red hair. You can't miss her. Can't miss her. Unless you're looking at face page and that's not her. We're still trying to check the DNA.
That's trying to check
the DNA because no, there's only one Shanell Red. Yo, I really appreciate you taking time out tonight. This means a lot. I appreciate it. I know you're working hard, and you got your second win. Go on, get your do me punch on.
I'm about to get my doobie punch on right now.
Shanell Red, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
And I will talk
for
to you in a
having me.
hot minute.
Continue blessings. Thank you. Thank you,
Talk to you
y'all.
soon.
Bye.